Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Hoodie Thread coming at you with another stream.
Hello? Perfect. Hello? Hello? Does anybody have a mic? Hello? Anybody?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Bro, what's with your mic?
What do you mean?
It's so trash.
Wow.
Wait, so you want to go back and play with Scout?
Like, it's utter garbage. I'm sorry, but
Wait, what is garbage?
his mic.
Who?
He's got a fucking potato mic.
Who?
Thread. Who else?
Your
I
words are
can't
hurting
tell.
me.
Thread, as a teammate, I would expect better from you.
But
But
don't call me Thread. Call me Holding.
I can call you what I want. So
Like the walkie-talkie, like
Thread's my
Exactly.
professional name.
he's literally talking to
it sounds like when you're like on a helicopter,
Exactly.
and it's.
Yo, where are
this
you
isn't even
flying, bro?
good of you. I'm
Oh,
just
God.
saying.
Oh god. Goes up. Oh, scary.
Bryn Games.
Don't hit
Stop.
I'm
those.
probably gonna
Son.
die. But what else is new?
I know.
My goodness.
What? I totally hit him. Alright.
No, leave Claudia alone. Ooh, goodbye. I'm going for you, Claudia. I
Why
got
can't
you.
you say my name? I'm getting flustered.
Claudia, no.
Oh my god, I'm getting flustered. Ooh. I'm gonna die.
Got you, Bay.
Oh, okay. Did you call me Bay?
No.
Oh. Dang it. I was gonna say we could get married.
Aww. Found love in a broken place. Somebody behind us? Never mind. An amigo.
Oh,
Keep it family friendly, boys.
fuck.
Family friendly.
Don't have good weapons.
One tap, one tap.
Let's
Right
go.
here. Oh, wow. Son of a bitch. Ugh.
Wait, you. Wait.
Wow. Can y'all pick up my
Wait.
card?
What was that?
What?
How did you do that?
What are you talking about?
How did you?
Keep it family friendly?
I'm gonna throw up, but like from laughing.
Oh. Thank you.
Aw. Aw, you're welcome.
Want to catch me on Plenty of Fish?
The more you talk, the older you sound.
Yo, take these bandies.
Where is the thingy?
To your left, Claudia. To your, okay, straight, right, straight, left.
No, I'm going up this way.
Oh,
This
there
is
you go.
building.
Why do you sound like a 50-year-old man now?
Oh my god.
I don't know. I mean, it still sounds pretty cute to me.
Wait, cuss again? Cuss again?
What the do you want me to say?
What? What?
I love it so much.
What is this? How do you? What?
It's amazing.
Are you like a robot or something?
No,
Literally a bot.
I'm not a bot.
You're a bot.
You're a bot.
I'm a bottomist.
You're a
I'm a
bot.
bottom.
How do you bleep your own words?
Came out with the update.
What the? I can't do it.
Y'all didn't get that in the update?
What the? You're an AI robot.
Where are we going? Are we going in circles?
No.
Oh, right. Why would we do that? Do you guys want me to play some K-pop?
No. That'll do
No,
copyright.
no.
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 Oh.
But I love K-pop.
Oh my god, we need to get married.
Who needs a dating website?
Yeah, I.
Plenty
This
of
is my version of
Fortnite.com.
Tinder.
Oh, not it.
If anyone finds a med kit or like something. Oh wait, there's.
Take that any day.
High brain games.
Hi.
Are y'all looking at my stream?
It's not
Yeah.
great,
You're like 40.
Oh my god, here we go.
I like older men, so it's no problem for me.
but
Claudio's
can you
my
be my
babe.
dad?
Do what again?
Huh?
You be my dad?
Can I be your dad?
Can you be my daddy? Oh wait, I already have one. Sorry, never mind.
Yeah, that would
You
be
can call me daddy.
Sorry, Gal is my daddy.
Exactly.
James Thompson. Stream's freaking out, man. It's a new thread.
You only have like
Is
2
it
viewers.
Twitch?
though.
Twitch stream?
I thought I was your bae.
Oh wait, yeah.
It just
Twitch.
started.
Why am I dumb?
Takes a little while for them to show up.
I don't like.
Oh, there's a baller.
Oh wait, is someone here?
Right.
Oh, someone's here.
Premature
There.
shot.
Someone is at the pirate.
Coming, protecting you.
Thanks.
Okay, running away because I'm scared. Oh god.
Same. Now you're leaving me abandoned. Thank you.
Oh.
Get up for 62.
Ouch. Please. Over. Ah,
When did I get 2 kills?
not good. Wait, who died?
Right here.
No, wait.
That guy's hit.
Come on, don't be a potato. Get him. Oh,
No, I'm literally trash. You guys can't do this to me.
I believe in you.
You're so garbage.
I know I'm
You got this?
Don't. Stop watching me. Close your eyes. Close your eyes, please.
Right there.
No! I was
Oh, it's a
just
sad
about to
day.
shoot.
What the dude? Later, boys. GG's.
I'm a girl.
Peace.
No! Okay, bye.
Bye, bro.
Interesting group of people. Hello? Ah, again with your mic. Why didn't they follow me? And just like that. Hi, Brian Games. The follow will come through. You're gonna like it. I promise you. Hang out for it. I'm sorry for being bad.
Income the thing them call chicks is for kids and we don't play games. Straight business, hey girl, tiny funny jack. Hear what I'm saying? Balvin, tell them again.
Thank you for the follow, Brian Games. Hey, don't worry about it, bro. We all have our days. I'm a trash can some days. Well, most days. Whoop whoop. Party up in here. Waiting for my buddy. Oh, Phantom's on too. I'm better at DUI and solo. Oh, I was gonna say you're better at DUI. That's not good. That's good. You'll make it home. Solos and duos. Nice. Oh, come on. Come on, GG's. Hurry up. Let's get this show started. Was that other kid with 5 kills? Was he was your friend? What about my girlfriend? She didn't even follow me. My babe. That hurt my soul. No, don't know him. Oh, okay. I thought you were just all in the lobby. I'm gonna go play random squads. Why is it a sad day, Brian Games? It's never a sad day, my friend. What's going on, bud? Let me know. Why is it a sad day? Stream Elements, did you know I have a Twitter and a YouTube? No way. There's someone up above and be a simple kind of man. Be a something you love and understand. Me too. I'm listening to it right now. I got these open-ended headphones. And I can hear it on American Idol. Jamming, brah. What's your favorite version? There's like 3 of them out there. I so want that. I want that too. Cool face. There's a lot. Yeah. There is a lot. Let's see. Well, how much would I need? I would need that. No. Too much. Oh, it is. Oh, okay. I figured on my full face that it had. Well, on that shot, I figured that it had the chat still up. Okay. Go back. Oh yeah. Oh, there is. There's no ever. Why would it give me that one? Well, it don't matter. I'm gonna buy the other one anyways. Okay, Mom. I don't know why your phone dies so quick. Okay. You ready? Oh my God. Still not ready. Oh, just threw up in my mouth a little bit. Always fun. He's loading up. Something a bot would say. Let's see. There we go. That's nice. Pudding thread, thank you for the smiley face with hearts on it. Really appreciate it. Oh, compete. Come on. Fire GGs, you got a bedtime in an hour. Let's do this. Ring the bell, dude. Of course, dude. Of course, dude. Oh, that's neat. It even says you're watching. The bell is for the word of the day. Okay, dude? Make me do that again. Hey, dude, can you do me a solid? Can you share my stream? Then I'll ring the bell again. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me, Fire Chichis? Do you have a stream deck? Ugh. Do you have a stream deck or a soundboard? Check it out. Check it out, way. No frowny faces. Nothing but good, positive attitudes. See if it'll go far enough. Whammo. That answers the question right there. What I use. Okay, I'll share, dude. Thanks, dude. You're number one, dude. Make me want to ring my bell. Noise. Yeah, you know, my sister lives in Houston. And we were in Houston. And I was looking for this thing. And all they had was the little one. What was that beep? What the are you talking about? So she lives in Houston. And I was thinking that they had the stream deck there, the big one like this. They didn't have it. They had to get it from New York. Crazy. Real crazy. Oh, Fire GG's. You You are something else, you know that? Making these people wait. You're telling me to wait, yeah. I've been doing that. You bot. These people want to see a show. They want to see action. You're making them wait. You rated me. Hasn't shown it yet.
Everybody wanna be like me. Everybody wanna be like me. Everybody wanna be like me. Bust down big chains and dress fancy.
Thanks for the raid. I don't know why I didn't show up. Everybody want to be like me. Finally, it stopped dancing. Jesus Christ, that was the longest freaking dance.
Ooh, yeah. Everybody wanna be like me. Ooh, yeah. Everybody wanna be like me. Everybody wanna be like me. Bust down big chains and dress fancy.
I have a decent sized chain. What do you mean there? Thanks for the raid, though. So today, I don't know if it's gonna work out or not. I bought a ton of bits. I was putting them everywhere. On the big streamers, little streamers, giving bits out left and right. I was the Easter bunny of bits today. And hopefully through that, people will see my stream and just come over there. This way. Come on by. Surprise, Phantom Boy. You are a good man. Thank you. This bot, man. This bot. Finally. It's still not working. We waited, we went through all that.
Hello?
Now it's working.
Okay, there we go.
You want to do squads or duos?
I don't know. Your choice.
Dude, I've been following him longer than you've been.
You didn't have an Easter.
Because I unfollowed
Because
for a while.
it's not Easter yet, buddy. Brian Games. It's not Easter. Well, you haven't had one yet.
Yeah, it is.
Not Easter.
Yeah, it is.
No. This Sunday was the day. It was Palm Sunday. And it's everybody's favorite time of year because you get to yell out, "Crucify him!" Swear to God.
What?
Because you reenact the part of like Jesus going to Nazareth and he's coming in on the donkey. Everybody's, oh, another TTV by the way. TTV by the way. And you get to reenact him. Well, not reenact him. You get to reenact him before he gets crucified. So you get to be the bad people, or the people, the normal people, Galilee, whatever it is. Favorite part of Easter, right, guys?
Aquí están haciendo. Están haciendo fiesta. A ver, ¿dónde pongo acá?
Are you gonna hit piñatas for Easter?
No, ¿dónde? Ahí vamos.
He's a
No,
fake.
recuerdo este campamento de acá. Este está más
You're a
alto.
fake, Adrenumine TV.
Ya respóndele,
There we go. Where are we going?
We're going where they're going. I don't know. Let's go
aquí
to.
o aquí.
Tilted.
Allá donde yo marqué.
Why is it so laggy? Why did I have like 30 frames for a second?
Why are you asking me? I ain't your daddy.
Are you sure?
Go ask your daddy for those circuit boards.
It's not mine.
The bell, dude. Of course,
here we
the
go,
bell. It's here. I never
I'm
left.
loaded in. Hey, John, you're gonna have to protect me for a while.
Okay.
Never mind, it's loaded in. It's gonna be loaded in for time. Okay.
Okay.
Nope.
That wasn't a jump that
Oh
I
my
was
God,
expecting.
why do I have 9
Si es que esos
frames?
manes sobreviven, nos ayudan a ganar
we're
la
outside.
partida. Ellos que cayeron en el piso.
Dude, can I stop having four?
Parecen
Nota
buenos.
nomás que son pros.
Pretty bad.
Sí, los dos tienen la skin de futbolista.
We don't care what you're saying, bro. I can't. There we go. John, good job up here. Stop your trap. You didn't tell me that. Where's he at?
What? You got here, one tap. Literally one tap.
Oh, I can't see anything. I don't know how I got the kill.
I don't know.
Dude, can this guy?
Pick me up. Stick
Can't
me.
see
Stick
anything.
me. Stick it. Stick it.
And
Stick it.
Is that guy still? Is that guy down or something?
Yeah, he's down. Don't worry about it. Pick me up. Attaboy. Stick it. Stick it. Stick it. Stick it.
I'm sick of my meds, bro.
Wow.
Dude, these people need to be quiet.
Hey, I got to kill. Well, mute them, bro. God, man. They're not real TTVs.
Did that actually stop the rest?
Wow. Ah. Why'd I have to play with a bot?
Look at the one with 0 kills right now.
I have one.
Congratulations, your first kill of the game.
Oh.
Did you actually take that AR?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I have no ammo, by the way.
Oh, I got the kill. I loot. Loot stealer. Bro, why are those guys at a random house? What is that house?
People across, I believe.
Well, I only got a thumb.
I believe like a TTV, by the way.
I had 9 health. If you could see my screen, bro, you'd be laughing.
I don't laugh at other people.
Left out.
Same
somebody's out
sentence
there.
I just can't.
Bro, no, it's not. You said I don't laugh at other people. I said you laugh at. Why are these markers?
Oh god, he's up here.
He's up here? Wait, really?
Down below now. No, and our buddies aren't even close to us.
And my screen's frozen.
No, Zach Tour, you can't join. Of course. Alright, I'm
I
just
just
gonna
now
back
got
out.
downed. Yeah, I'm backing out. These people are bots. Speak Saudi Arabian, bro. They speak Saudi Arabian. English
Yeah.
service.
Fuck
Yes.
yeah. Everybody won't be like me. Everybody won't be like me. Welcome.
Time to open up a task manager. Aiden's not in the game for me.
Oh, Tervin, right?
Peter died.
Hold on. Hold on. Let's see if he wants to play. So we can have 4 good people.
A 100% of the CPU is being used.
Can't believe Tervin's not on.
Who's that?
You're a cool guy. Okay, never mind. Not gonna join. Tried. I tried my darn tootness.
Bro, why is everything so high?
What the heck? From San Francisco.
Who knows?
I won't be up with.
Yeah, Aiden's not in our lobby for me.
He's in mine.
Not in mine.
He's in mine.
What tier are you? You're only tier 73.
63.
No, you're not.
Oh.
You're 73.
Oh yeah. Holding thread just with the cutest emoji game. Holding it down, man.
Yo, A1.
Are you streaming? Phantom?
Oh.
Yeah. Not in this house, right? That's what your dad said.
Yep.
Editing doesn't work, guys. Just saying. Turbo build doesn't either. Textures don't either.
Editing works for me.
Where we landing, boys? Just land somewhere so he can... What's the word of the day?
Textures.
Textures. Word of the day.
Why do you hear it twice for one word?
Oh.
That was 3 times now.
Reverse the
Well, now no matter how many times I ring it. Texture.
Yeah, so you have to stop ringing it now.
Texture is the word of the day. Said it twice.
John needs to be on like a children's show, and every time they have a word of the day, he needs to be there.
Be there with my bell. My smiling bell. Can you see that it smiles on the screen?
No.
Can you see this the cute little llama on my cowbell?
No.
It literally
I'm
says
I can't watch.
literally says llama bell.
You think we want to watch your stream? Bro?
I mean,
And a guy just took my building, and John just took that building.
Can't even see. What are you complaining about?
Yes, I can. Right now, I can.
Tell your dad to check your circuit boards.
It's not mine.
Tell his dad to check your circuit boards.
Yeah.
he won't.
Is this guy actually gonna wait for me to get this chest? Is he actually going to, bro? He actually did.
He took it off.
Good for you, bro. Yes.
You kidding me? He got a new pump and shields.
Dude, you can edit. I hope you know that.
He's actually like a bobbing on. Dude, oh my goodness. One tap. I know.
It's alright. We'll get your card.
He's weak. He's like literally 2 HP, dude.
I'll go for your
He has a
card.
new pump off starter. I have a pistol and a green pump.
He doesn't have a mic and he's taking loot.
Guys, they're like, he's literal 2 HP.
I got a saw. Well, he might have shield now.
I don't think so.
Well, there's no health per kill, so
He's
how would
he's in here.
he's in here? You just said he was over here.
He might still be there. I don't know.
His new pump, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So I should be scared?
All I know is I still need to leave. There he is.
Told you he's over there.
Rip that kid. Yep. I really don't care about this kid, but you know what? I have to save him.
Did it stop?
Look at beside you. That's it.
No shield on him. Hit him for 35 flash. He's going
Did
after
they
you.
both have new pumps? When did they? How did they both get new pumps?
I don't know.
I really don't want to play Fortnite. I'll see you tomorrow, guys.
Okay, later.
The game doesn't work in 3 things.
You got this, John. I believe in you.
I believe in myself.
Oh, full kill, full kill. Just he full killed.
I believe in myself. I believe in myself. Oh. Sorry. Where's your
you can
cards?
hit up with the. You can hit him up with the reboot.
Look at that. Fashionable, baby. Oh.
If this 8 kid gets
He's
started
got
off first,
there's one more over here.
try to straight up just get that card, dude. Or get the pump, dude.
Well, let me go.
He's got a blue one. Blue. John!
I'm going off.
The nice 180. Just straight.
I don't know why they jump off. You can't even shoot while you're jumping off. You don't
They
shoot
can.
till you land. Oh, they never shoot at me.
Dude, if this kid gets spawned in before me, let's go, dude.
Wait, did he back out? He backed out. Wow,
Yeah,
James Bond backed out. Wow. What a bot. I'm just going for shield, and they have no shield. None.
Do you have shoddy in the armor?
Yeah, I have some.
Oh, I have shoddy. Never mind, I'm fine. I just need armor. Thank you. John's a good teammate.
Heck yeah, bud. Well, if Mark was on, we would have 4, but okay. Well, now we would have 3.
No one lose ammo crates, dude.
But he was playing, premature shot. He was playing before with his friend.
Who?
The bot. Yeah.
Oh, he was playing with me.
Wow.
Yeah, I was on my ult.
Let's see, maybe there's some healing over here. Okay, shotguns.
Dude, shotgun ammo? Like, or not shotgun ammo, shotgun. The noises are broken. Have you noticed that? Like, whenever you try to pull out your shotgun, like, sometimes it doesn't make the noise.
I don't pay attention to it. The thing that I pay attention to is like when you shoot, because that's real annoying to me. Because with the new update, they like delayed it. I hate that so much. They try to make it realistic, and I don't know why. Ooh, shit.
Fortnite devs don't know what they're doing. And no one can deny that, like...
Well, like I told Mark, I said, people haven't realized it yet, but what Fortnite's doing is they're trying to get rid of the pros. And they're trying to come up with new faces for the game. Because the pros keep complaining.
That's true.
And they're
I
trying...
mean, that's a good strategy, in a way. They're killing their game, but it could also bring it back to life.
I mean, if your game made those guys popular, right? They didn't make your game popular, which that's the argument. People are like, oh no, they did. Like, no. Fortnite made them popular. But the big companies, they do this all the time. They have salespeople that'll, if you can just put it somewhere. Yeah, those are the flags. What do you mean? Yeah, I bought it. I already bought the stand. No, we're mismatching all our stands. I want them to be all one
John, I have
piece
a
and look
half one for
nice. But the big companies, what they do? Okay. The big companies, what they do is they have salespeople and they'll sell like $1 million accounts, and then they'll fire those people because they're too expensive, and they'll just get sniped up.
Alright, come over to me, there's half lot. If you can, like, fall back, maybe. Here, I'm gonna try to glide over to you.
Wait. Wait. They're both focused on me. God dang it, dude.
These guys are sweating, dude.
Does everybody have to talk to me?
Oh my. Dude, I'm lucky scared. Oh!
But yeah, they're just gonna move the money. They're gonna get cheaper advertisement, basically.
Okay, this is very fun, dude.
Nice. Wow, 3 health. 3 health and a dream. No! Mark's getting on though.
Alright. Dude.
Oh yeah, he's almost on. If Terravin was on, we'd have a full square.
Who?
Terravin.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good. He's like a silent like carrier. He don't even brag about it. You'll just look and you're like, when did you get 6 kills? The hell? Cute as heck. Invited you. I got this one. And then this one.
You bought that stupid shit. Hey, that stupid jet.
It brings me back to my high school days, boys.
Get the Chica girl, son. A car for it.
Why?
The switch step looks weird. Are you streaming, Phantom? Phantom.
You have a mic? Anybody?
Yeah, I got a mic.
Oh yeah. How you doing, man? Uh oh, we're too aggressive. You don't like that. Back up, back up.
Okay, where do you land?
Where we landing, boys?
Hello.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Why tilted?
Okay, retail.
That's just as bad as tilted.
Yeah,
Dude, actually tilted's better than
TSM
retail.
Aiden, dude, that kid is a god.
You saw that too? I just saw it on my
Aiden?
It's a TSM Aiden and then like a bunch of numbers at the end.
Yeah, it's
like
TSM.
On TSM nowadays.
Show the highlight reel or what?
Dude, I'm dead.
No, you're not. You believe.
There's a kid right next to me and I don't have a gun.
Don't you say that. You believe.
I don't believe.
Oh,
Oh, God.
oh, help me! I knocked one. I knocked one.
Attaboy.
Help me in this house.
Helping, helping.
Kill this person. They should never be alive.
Whoa,
I'm trying to-
whoa. Toxic.
Sorry.
Wow.
I
You got a mouth on you. Nah,
You're
it's alright.
scaring him, John.
I think I am. I don't care.
I thought you were a good man.
They're on the roof, they're on the roof, they're on the roof, they're on the roof. They're second floor. Hold that for me.
One right behind you.
There's one more, be careful.
Oh, on me.
30, he's flesh.
I'm coming, guys.
Oh man. Go down.
Oh, I'm dead.
Behind you, one more.
Watch out, Nick.
I'm coming.
Watch out.
One more.
Oh!
Oh god, he got me.
Knocked him. One more. Dude, don't do this to me.
Renegade Raider pushing you guys. He's coming from the east side,
Nice.
east side.
Oh, trap.
Be careful. One more coming.
Oh, I see one.
Rose team leader finishing when it's not even his kill.
I see him too. 30
He's on
flesh.
Got him.
Let's go.
Attaboy!
There's a Rose team leader by
One
my
more.
heart.
There's one
leader
more
by my
coming.
Oh yeah, that's. He's so weak. You guys got
Got
Let's go.
him! Let's go!
Get the cards.
Okay, we'll go pick you up now. Dude, I told you this is worse than tilt.
Except y'all killed him.
You're not touch my food.
I don't think it's worse than
Mark and
Oh
John
my
popping
god.
off.
Are you
Y'all
kidding me?
white
This
You
isn't worse
you
than
guys
Tilted.
have. I'm getting carried the hardest in my life.
How many kills you got, Mark?
5.
You
I got
guys have
4.
10 total.
Wow.
I'm alive. People.
Is there any extra ammo and stuff?
Tons of stuff over
You
here.
get my.
I need shotgun
Do
ammo.
not get my
I have
purple.
some.
Do not
I
get
need
my
those
purple
band-aids.
stuff.
Never mind, there's more
Do
right
not
here.
get my purple stuff.
I only have 1 on me. John, you got shotgun ammo I could borrow?
Yes. You're not gonna borrow it, you're gonna keep it.
Thank you.
I need shotgun
Apparently somebody.
ammo and
Apparently somebody took my
this
star.
AR.
Yeah.
Oh, it was my own. Yeah, I need shotgun ammo and I need an AR.
I got some shotgun. Behind you.
Yeah, I need shotgun and
I need everything.
I dropped 5
Yeah,
on me.
I need like everything.
do you guys have any AR?
Nah.
That's because I could have had 5 kills, but that guy, that pirate guy y'all were messing with inside this house, I didn't shoot fast enough. You shot faster. I was like, oh, it's stolen.
What happened
Does
to
anybody have, like,
aimbot?
ammo to me?
His computer's not working. His circuit board's giving out.
Oh.
Rip.
We can go to the
Man,
fire
that-
camp. Or what pirate
That
camp.
a renegade raider came in a hoverboard?
No, that was me in the hoverboard. I got sniped by the renegade raider.
Oh, he was pretty good or what?
I mean, he sniped me, so. You killed him, so.
Has to be
Yeah,
good.
He must be very bad then.
Wow. Toxic.
I'm joking, I'm joking. Dude, I need to get some ammo.
Hey, who said that?
What did they say?
I don't know. Somebody in the background said, F that.
Probably big spot.
Probably. My PC not working, Dad. F that. Right? Oh, that's right. Not his real dad. Stepdad.
So, who's Riley? Is that your other brother or what? Is that your brother or James Bond's brother? Oh.
Wrong one.
Dude, where's the ammo crate?
I have a lot of food.
Oh shit, y'all left.
Heck yeah. I ain't sticking around in a dangerous place like that.
It's giving me the
Okay.
ammo I do not need, dude.
Oh my god.
Okay, don't need that anymore.
Benny.
Yeah, barely any.
They were mine, but you can have them. It's only one. Someone's gliding in on us.
You hear people ranting? They're on top.
I'm gonna try to make my way over to you guys.
Oh god, I'm getting shot. Oh god.
Go ahead.
Oh!
Are they good?
They're not good, but they snuck up on me.
Okay, how many?
2.
Okay, I'm on my way to.
Let's go, Mark.
They
Let's
have a-
cat. Let's
Whatever.
whatever the word is called. Avenge them. That's the word.
That's the word of the day.
I was
Alright.
lagging hard. I was lagging hard. Oh my god.
I can't see nothing because those damn names.
Or where you kids at? I heard you shot at one of my
There's-
friends.
Yeah, they're still bound down below.
Did y'all hit them once?
No.
Oh wow. Oh, I hear him, I hear him.
I have no idea where they are.
The two, right? You didn't see them?
Nope.
Really? Yeah, they're in there. Bottom, right below. In that door too, right? Oh, right there too, right? There.
Oh, there's one, there's one.
Got him.
Oh, 200.
That was very.
Let's go.
I put the trap in the wrong spot. Oh my god.
So the I don't know where the closest oh, there's a baller. You can take the baller to.
Yeah. You want me to run that, Aaron?
Or you can rip.
No, it's not rift. Let's
just
just.
the
I'll
baller.
grab the ball. Hold up. You
Use
stay
the
here,
baller.
Mark. You stay here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go run the baller over to there.
Alright.
Gonna go and pick us up. Just gonna get it with. Hopefully there's rifts there. Yes, there are rifts. Perfect. Sweet. Get to come back and do it again. Do it again.
There should be how many rifts?
Just one rift.
Yeah, you guys can go.
I'm going to a circle.
Okay, bye. Like anyone asked, right?
And then there is
Look in
guns
the
over here,
circle.
so.
Wait for me.
We can probably just go.
There we go, I got it. Good.
Go to the pirate camp. Get my stuff. And go to circle. Okay, not much of my stuff is here, but that's okay.
We can get you ammo.
Nothing
I've
good.
got ammo.
Oh, just run.
I need shotgun. I need shotgun.
Oh, there's kids on me. I'm backing out, dude. I'm leaving this place, dude.
Where are you? Where are you?
They're in retail. Near Blacktops. North Blacktops.
I don't see him.
I heard the shooting. They're probably
They shot-
inside.
They shot at you?
No, I just heard the shooting.
Oh.
If they're still here, I have no idea. It was. They're most likely still here. I heard the shooting somewhere around here. Somewhere in northern retail, north of retail.
Out here, boys.
I see a baller 60. He's by himself. I see him. See a
It sounded like
skateboard.
an SMG, so.
Oh, yeah, I see the ball.
Where at? John and John.
What'd you say?
You need ammo.
Yeah, I need Sarov ammo. That'd be
That's all?
great. And yeah, and a little bit of shotgun ammo. I don't need much.
I got you.
Alright, I split. If
Cool.
you can, drop the
Everyone won't be like me.
The hard carry by doing you.
I carried y'all last night too.
Oh, me and you have both had a.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't that bad. There wasn't even.
Oh god. Taking the zip line. Wait, never mind.
Yeah, I say that's not a smart play, my friend.
If anyone wants to trade a sniper for a deagle, just hit me up.
I'll take the Deagle if you don't want it.
You have a sniper though?
No, I'll have her.
There's a kid right here. What up? Oh, Mark sniped someone.
Yeah, Mark's taking care of business. Yes, he is. You
There's
can
a
go
kid
up
on
there.
me.
They're up there.
Okay, he's lasering my ball. He lasered my ball. It's about to. I need help. I need help. I need help. Where are you guys? He's going to push me, dude.
I don't know what else to do. I'm just wasting ammo.
There's people right there, John. 60.
Yeah, I know. Down the hill. But there's people just floating around over there.
Ooh, just shot the ball.
There's a kid gliding in on me.
There's 2 of them.
2 kids on me, I think.
God, really? It hit me from that far, but I can't hit you. Just come this way. They're
Yep, I
both
need
over
help.
there.
I need help really bad. Okay, yep.
We
okay,
can't see them because of the mountain. Whatever.
Oh my goodness, dude. I really need help.
We can't see them because of the...
I think it's a full squad.
Yeah.
Pushing me.
Can't see them because of the cliff. Try to run this way if possible.
Another Renegade Raider. Dude! This game is so fun! Especially. Oh my god, dude.
How they
I'm
missed
gonna
that
freak
shot?
out, dude. I'm actually gonna stop the game. It's terrible. This game is literally terrible. There's another Renegade Raider. Knowing he's probably got 20 kills. He's taking DL. I can't play this game. It's physically impossible.
Ah, no way. I'm gonna get them.
Dude, you better push.
Who hit those?
Oh shit. Oh, run, safe.
It's a Renegade Raider. They're probably gonna sweat, dude. They're right in there, dude.
Wow, they're getting shot.
Yep, they rezzed already. Somehow.
We have a trap.
Nice. What's wrong? That kid's 30.
Oh my god.
They only have 9 kills together? Wow, they're so bad, dude.
That's why we need a 4th. Let's see. Anyone else? Anyone else?
You wanna play Classic?
Doesn't matter.
John,
Classic.
What
Okay.
Man, that Renegade Raider must not have been that good.
was it those Renegade Raiders? There were 2 of them.
Why is there so many of them now?
They probably sold it for a little bit.
No, they didn't.
Bet. Word of the day.
How many words of the day are there?
Everybody wanna be like me. What up, Zilla the Hutt?
What is this, Classic?
Yeah.
I thought you don't like playing Classic.
Who?
You.
No, I don't like playing custom.
Why not? That's practicing.
This is practicing.
Where we going? Paradise or?
This isn't classic. Paradise didn't exist.
Okay, John, that was my first game on. I did not get down first.
Okay, who asked?
Remember,
No,
all
we're going
day,
Paradise. Good.
all day at work, you said I get down first all the time.
Oh, yeah. Zilla the Hutt, you went the wrong... Oh, no, he's going the right way now. Atta boy, Zilla. So you're saying I'm bringing out the best in you?
Yeah.
I got a way with words, my friends.
Nah, you don't. He's laughing. You fucking joke.
Did anyone
It's
go?
true.
Maybe no.
Why not?
I barely got on. Literally, I'm only gonna stream for like an hour.
What's wrong with that?
Still streaming.
Okay. Looking for weapons.
Dude, how many ARs are there?
Oh yeah, there's med kits in this one. This one's classic for sure.
There's no minis, by the way.
No minis? Only half pots?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Dude, I only have an AR. Oh, there's buried treasure.
There's still treasure maps? That's not classic.
Well, yeah, because the scar.
Are there?
I don't think so.
So how? What am? Is the heavy sniper in here?
No, that bolt.
This is gonna be very interesting then, because there's no suppressed scar either. Which means it's going to be. I
Wow,
don't know.
a burst rifle? What the heck?
Ooh, that
Burst is
SMG?
good.
Haven't seen that for days.
Dude, I only have. Wait, did they add in? Dude, can you not be talking to me? Please, dude.
What did he do?
He's spamming so many smoke nades, dude. He threw at least 10.
Oh, I forgot about those.
I'm going for this thing, dude.
What would you? Man. I forgot that they used to smoke.
So no coconuts. There it is right there. There's the bolt action, baby.
Oh, you got a bolt.
Hmm?
Epic. Alright, what am I gonna get from the treasure? Is it just gonna be scars? It's only scars. It's only scars. There is a scar on me, and I have 2 other scars I'm carrying. No, actually, I'm carrying 1 scar. 1 extra scar.
Hold it, carry it. I'm going.
Actually, never mind.
Zilla the Hutt's trying to beat me. Not today, Zilla.
There's 3 scars. One
3
for all of us,
scars.
dude. One for all
Coming
of
for
you.
me? Or no?
Yep. One for everyone.
Okay, I'm one more
That's
away.
mine,
Oh,
Zilla.
another treasure map, dude.
Another treasure map. Wow.
And I found a llama. Dude,
Wow.
my luck is, something.
You need to go to Vegas right now.
Oh, wow. I got the sniper rifle. the
No. Oh, they thought that
I'm
was
going
funny.
to get. No, that's someone else. That's my brother in the background.
Zilla's getting the golden scar. Aw.
There's one, there's 2 where the site was. Someone just shot.
Yeah, I was Zilla the Hutt.
Where's the other 2 at?
They should be somewhere around there. Should have one.
Gotta move, Storm. Go, go, go.
Go, 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 go. Up the back. I'm actually gotta get mad.
Go, move, move, move. Out of there.
Dude, this is right next to retail. I'm kind of scared.
Oh.
You know what they say though? Risk it for the biscuit.
You're just full of catchphrases today, aren't you, my friend?
Not good.
Zilla the Hutt's still sniping.
Still trying to find that tech SMG.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, there's another truck drive on me. And then 4 more gold scars. And some ammo.
I'll carry 2 gold scars. My goodness, I couldn't talk. I'll just carry 2 gold scars. Oh, somebody in front of us, Mark.
Oh, there's a kid on me.
Yeah.
2 kids on me. 3 kids on me.
I'm away.
Oh no.
Yep, and they have TAC SMGs as well. Dude, I swear, this is so fun. This is so fun. Everyone's spamming you.
Oh, okay. Hit him.
Knock him down. Attaboy.
Shield.
36 shield on 1.
Knocked 1.
Nice.
There's him for
My
you.
shotgun's not shooting, dude. My shotgun is not shooting.
Knocked another 1.
There's him for you.
No shield on this good. I'm choking everything, dude.
Got him.
No, Mark got the kill.
No, let's go.
Where's that
Dude, I
jug at?
lasered that kid. And I took fall damage from nothing.
Is there a jug still? Oh, I need that.
Another treasure map.
Oh, there's... Dude, is there a TAC SMG anywhere? Cause I need it. I guess there's not. Dude. I need wood as well.
I have 3 medkits. Oh, more people. 33 shield on 1. Be careful. They're on top of
there
our
was.
Hit my trap. I swear,
still alive. My bad. Let me help you out.
You're fine, it's just... Got one. Let's go, John. Oh, TAC SMG.
Man, he took
Hey,
my
good
shield,
thing I got
man.
it.
Oh, I have a medkit.
I have a choke.
Nice. Set up for endgame.
I'm gonna check my assist after this game. I'm gonna have like 20. Who is throwing stinks, dude?
The smoke grenades, the Zilla
Yeah,
Villa.
not stinks.
He's a funny
He's
guy.
a teammate.
He's a
the
character.
teammate that I love.
Character, man. Let's take that geyser. Well, actually, let's walk it. Walk it, boys. Walk it. Okay, like I talk it.
I got my trap didn't place for the longest. And then, yeah.
Oh, there's no fireplaces. Interesting. Interesting.
Any ballers?
Nope. My finger hurts.
Why?
Cramping.
We gotta hurry because I have to get off soon.
Oh, really?
Oh, I just heard a SMG shit.
Yeah, it's Zilla the Hut. Oh, he needs ammo. Turn
He's
your mic
using
on,
ammo.
bro.
We need to be very aggressive because I have to go in like 10 minutes.
We'll win in 10 minutes.
Got another knot.
200 meters.
People gliding in behind
You guys
us.
have a launch pad or anything?
Nope.
Knock one. Oh, dude, get absolutely pooped on you. Okay, I just got blocked. It just wasted a. I love this game.
Oops.
Get on me.
Break him down.
Let's go, John.
Huh. You gonna have shield? Of course he doesn't. Why do none of these kids have shield?
I have a medkit for you. If that's
Yeah, I have a med kit too. Kind of really wanted some shield.
People on me.
Well, good luck, because we're not even close to you.
yep, you pushed all by yourself.
Yep. And Mark's going down. That's your fault.
They're gonna pick up his buddy.
I don't think we can push. But,
We keep spraying into there.
oh, 187 on 1. We hit them.
They're getting targeted by someone else too. Somebody kill those tryhards.
I love how this game works. Like, it just works whenever you do stuff. Oh, I stole that kid. Get out here.
Oh, you can pick up my reboot card. You can pick it up. Oh my god, you can pick up my reboot card.
Where is
There's a
this?
kid on me. Unless it's John.
It's me. The other guy went up top. Nope, he's down
I hear
below.
him.
Oh god.
I'm coming. Oh, nice.
There's one more. Coming down.
Yep. Ooh. Where is he?
I don't know. I hear him. I think he's below. Yeah, he's below. He's under there. Oh yeah, he's over here. Alright, we're still that kill.
I don't care. I just need help.
That was me. Oh, he's on the outside. Got him.
I don't.
Got him.
Any shields? I got
No shields, dude.
it. Dude, I need wood. That's all I really need.
Now y'all could go pick me up. Pick me up. The respawn pad. You can go pick me up.
Where at?
It's out of zone though.
You can look in the map though, and y'all can pick me up.
I'll try to get you.
Puppy girl!
Oh, you can stick it. You got what you call it? You make it.
Yeah, I'll stick it. I'll get it. But you're not gonna have any guns.
Can you drop me like your semi then? Oh, there's guns around there.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna need ammo.
Oh.
Oh,
Hey,
can I get both
Maxim,
of them?
can you drop me ammo? Right next to the respawn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see half I want to grab you. Here, come back to me. I split everything.
I see the tryhards over
Over
there.
there.
Where are you? Where do you split everything at?
I marked it.
Okay, I got it right there.
Okay, it's a try-hard sweat. This kid is going to sweat as hard.
Careful, it's on the side.
Yeah, there's kids on our sides.
Yeah.
Well, at least we know where they're at.
I got knocked by the storm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
36 blue on the wrestling skin, I think it is.
Oh man, he
come pick
beat
it
me.
up. Come. Oh yay.
Whoops. I hit him 36.
Okay, I'm trying to heal up real quick.
Oh, I just launched myself in the storm, dude.
All right.
That little big set, dude.
He has shield, that kid. Still has
Oh
shield.
my! Got one. There's a kid right next to me.
I know, I'm trying to beam him. Oh, he's weak, no shield, no shield. Oh, he's gonna BM me. Oh, he has no shield.
Dude, I can't. This kid's reflexes are way too fast.
No, this is the end.
Don't say that.
Oh, yeah, launch pad. But it's still... Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm dead. Yeah, this is the end. Yep, okay, that's great.
Dang, 15
What?
kill game, boys.
Alright, see ya.
Zilla did nothing. Hold on.
I might be able to play one quick game.
Put on regular, John.
Wait, you can play
John,
one more?
put on regular.
You can play one more or what?
Yes, put
Yeah,
on
I'll play
regular.
one more. But it has to
Regular?
be quick.
Oh. Should have been yelling at me. One more, one more. Oh, Killion. Hey, another Twitch.
Hey, Twitch kicks. You got a mic.
He has to. He has to. Top off? Are you kidding me? Someone offered 31. What's wrong with these people? Oop.
Alright. Return. I'm not sure which. Alright.
Oh. I didn't jump. Sorry, boys. Landing late. Where we going? Oh, retail. Dude, that was playing the whole game without shield, and then everybody else and their mom had shield. Crazy.
I should have popped that choke with this. I would have won.
Oh well, you and Mark had shield.
I
didn't have
didn't.
shield. Oh.
I didn't have shield at all.
Ah, the whole game?
Got one. There's a kid coming into the side. Mark.
Got him.
Is it nice?
I'm here, boys. You need my help?
Any
Him.
more? Another kid on me, I think. Yep. Okay, there's another kid, dude. There's like 20 kids on me. Okay, I have one more shot.
Head your way, head your way.
Got him.
Oh. I didn't even know there's somebody dead here.
It's shocking as well.
Oh, there's people went away, I think.
I need shocking him, dude. No shield?
Oh my god.
I have no more mats. Oh my goodness, dude, really?
I'm going.
I can't move. Okay, I have to go. Bye, bro.
Later. Oh, I thought he ripped it.
Yeah, come pick me up.
Hold on. Dang it, dude. He's one hit. Wow, and he's gonna let him shield up. There's still more people coming. Ah. Intense, 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 intense. What, Fortnite? Come on, Fortnite. Oh, he's just playing it, so. Huh.
Hello? Spot on. You got it?
You could actually taste it though. Isn't that weird?
Hello? Does anybody have a mic?
That's great. Are you on?
Whoa,
are
you
you streaming
sound
on
like-
Twitch?
Yes.
You
Can you
sound
approve
crazy.
the word nigger?
And muted. In record time.
Why? Did he actually?
Dude, why would you say that?
He's trying to be funny. What,
It's
nigger?
cool.
Why don't you like nigger? Are you racist? He just
Where are we
basically described.
Let's
that he
go
don't like nigger.
Paradise.
Why nigger hater?
You're definitely muted. I could already tell.
No, I didn't mute him.
Oh wow.
Why do you sound like you're in a fucking well or like you're using like?
It's like on like a megaphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Do I use it for a mic? Megaphone?
Why not?
It's a
Oh,
good
he's
question.
a faggot.
I'm gonna start using walkie-talkies to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Or just buy really cheap money.
You
The dollar store mic.
No. Oh god, I'm gonna die.
Mom shots there. No.
Never mind, I'm okay.
Okay.
Why would I drop that?
You want a blue tack, Beats? Or a green?
Nah, I got a pump.
I knocked one.
I think Bro killed someone.
Oh shit, they're right there.
Coming out.
Don't peek, he's just a bag.
Oh, hello.
Get fucked.
You got the dick.
You guys are good.
Shut the fuck up. That's it. Nope.
Yeah, I killed the fourth.
Oh, okay. Shit. Nope, you
Whoa!
didn't.
That was a different team.
Fucking ball.
I got him.
Alright.
Nice.
Out of fucking nowhere, dude.
Yeah.
I
random
heard
bow.
somebody, that's why I was like, not sure.
That dude was making a beeline right for you. What the fuck did you do to him?
Fucking teabag and laugh at his teammates.
Yeah, man. That'll do it.
What did I tell you about fucking laughing at teammates after the show?
Yeah, no fun. Not allowed to have fun in it.
Thank you for coming to help the OV for that. Oh, man.
Yeah. To be honest, I didn't really think about it. Should I have?
Fuck you.
It's just automatic.
We should like get to like the last guy and kill ourselves and watch Holding Fred win
And just laugh at him.
Oh,
Konnichiwa?
okay. Take her away. Thank you.
Take her away. Walk her up. Walk her up. Walk her
He
up.
stopped trying to make me laugh. Holy shit.
My bad.
You're practicing at a Hillary rally in New Hampshire.
Dude, I don't even care if Hillary's running or not. I'm still gonna campaign against her.
Is she running?
I don't
You
think
just
so.
said that.
No.
She doesn't
She's
know if
just,
she is
she
or
seems
not,
to be
so
in
that
decent shape. She probably goes for runs.
You wanna fuck her?
Would you bang her to say you banged the next first lady?
How much money is she giving me?
About 350.
350 what? Like 1,000? Cause that's how much a dick's worth.
$3.50 in euros.
Oh, fuck no, dude. Fucking take off her feet. Fucking see bats come out or some shit. Butterflies.
I think I would need to invest in brown bag stocks before I banged her. There's not many I would need to use.
I got a brown bag for you.
Okay. Well,
Is that what you're calling them now? It's like almost as racist as the other one.
Anybody actually use the boat?
I do. I think it's
Oh.
sick, dude.
That's it.
I'm
I'm
dropping it right
sold.
here.
Yeah, he only likes it because it killed me.
Oh,
And you
with
got to see it.
The boat is nasty. It's really good.
I think it's gay.
It's cheap as fuck. I think it's honestly gonna get nerfed. Pretty fucking broken, but
What, intercom?
were people using it in the qualifiers?
No.
I don't think
No.
so.
This is mainly at the end though. The World Cup's gonna be stupid. Tifu's fucking trash as fuck and it showed it.
I was a little out of practice.
Oh, it's just like now they're showing all the players that doesn't stream, who wants to actually win for money and shit. And
I got a treasure map I'm gonna go to.
Aspect's actually famous and he went off. Or not famous.
Yeah, but the thing I was reading was saying that like none of the top streamers made it in. People that did make it in are good. They're like professional streamers, but they're not like the top.
Tifu didn't make it in. That's why
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised they didn't fucking just sneak him in.
Just like fucking drop him some loot.
Yeah, like just like give him extra points or some shit.
Yeah.
Sure.
Why did you kick me? I did in my Fortnite crash. So why didn't you invite me?
I think fuck.
Because you're starting a solo game.
Tell
Oh
him to
my
do it.
god. Everyone's got their panties in a punch.
I'm not wearing any panties.
Call me.
We found the faggot that matches Beats' personality too much.
I'm jealous.
Man, you got issues, my friend.
Yeah, we got some good stuff right.
No, we don't.
Never mind. It was all robbed. That's Scourge.
There's a blue AR right here.
Yeah, there's a
Nice.
Scar there.
Yeah, there's a scar there. I wish I got one.
I'll stab you. Give you a scar.
Oh, nigga. Holding.
Huh.
Well, this sounds weird.
What?
So if I tell you to think of something, you're obviously gonna think about it, even if you don't want to, because obviously just it going through your head, just mentioning it, You're gonna think about it.
Okay.
I just want you to process in your head your parents naked.
Okay.
If you said they're still alive, they're not dead or anything.
Okay, no, they're still here.
Alright, picture them naked.
Okay, I am. Go
I
on.
love you. He has no problems with it.
I know.
He's into it.
I am.
Dude, can you fix your mic though?
No.
Sounds gay as fuck.
The 5-year-olds like it.
You say you like 5-year-olds?
No, the 5-year-olds like it.
You said the 5-year-olds like AIDS? That's all I heard from that. That's how shitty inner towns are.
5-year-olds do like AIDS. Everyone knows that.
Not only are they sure, they are HIV positive.
Okay.
Dude, where the fuck is everybody?
I don't know, but it's pissed me off. I want to kill someone.
Boring. Yeah, this shit's boring. I'm literally just following around with the ball. Just find somebody. Skirt. This game's fucking beat.
They say, I saw some article on Apex, how it's not changing fast enough to keep people interested.
I mean, it just doesn't have like the skill curve for that, in my opinion.
Yeah, Apex is your fucking.
That's like why people. That's why like all these streamers and competitive gamers like Fortnite.
There's more balls up here.
No matter how good you get, there's room to get
Beat,
better.
shut the fuck up. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. There's a half hot beat for you.
Who's smoking good one?
I'm about to, dude.
Do it.
Don't ring my fucking doorbell.
There's a half pot down here too.
He's just a half pot down there. I'm tired.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh shit, there's people right in front of me. I'm out. Holy shit, yo. I went to go, like, fucking, I'm rolling with the ball and I just see a whole fucking team walk up a crevice right in front of me.
Yeah, I think I'm about to go get that supplied.
The one over to the.
Oh my god, there's so many fucking people. There's probably like 5 teams now.
Oh wow.
We'll come down at the RV over there, northwest of me.
Skirt, skirt.
Oh, I just knocked him with the bow. Bye bye.
Nice.
There's absolutely nothing over here that was useful.
Oh, you got a buddy?
Did you do the boom bow with the bow?
Yeah, here comes his buddy.
Here, I'm gonna set this up for you.
Get up close first. What's up, nigga?
Coming down.
Come here.
Surge?
What? Oh shit. Here.
Nice.
Just stay right in where you're at. This friend's gonna be pushing in a second. I'm gonna get you. Crawl to me. Okay. Oh, his friend might be coming. If it doesn't stay where you're at, I'm gonna close this wall. We're good.
Another Twitch. ETV Delaware.
We got people come from the east.
Oh god, not the east.
Oh my god.
At least they're not coming from the north.
Oh yeah, I see him.
One's on the mountain north.
Oh, I almost hit those.
man. Oh shit, there's
Oh,
a
right
guy
behind.
right here. Yeah. We should try to get to the top of fucking Pirate. Just like build up and get high ground as soon as you can.
Coming up.
69 on the guy on the girl boxing right here. Dude, oh my god. I'm out of sniper ammo. Fuck.
Get to me, I got some for you.
Where are you? Alright.
Ah. Hey, Mr. Snipe, standing still.
Oh my god, dude, this fucking build. Thank you, Piper.
Everyone's everyone.
Yeah, we're like long in retention. But they have to all fight each other to get to us, so that's...
Oh, I hit those.
I think there's someone behind us coming up over here.
Excuse
Yep,
me,
right here on him.
Ooh.
And he trapped me.
What?
Gotta be kidding me. Thank you. Someone else filled it up.
Oh, God. Nice.
Good shot, good shot.
You.
Revive him if you can.
Come up.
There's a chug right down here.
Ah.
Does anybody have mats? Oh my god.
No, I don't. Is that chug?
Let's see.
Oh, there's a trap.
You almost hit me.
Scared.
I got.
You guys
200
ready to
mats.
back out now?
Yeah, I don't need a win.
How many mats do you have?
200.
I have 500. I just found 300 stacks, so I'm good now.
Ah. Go higher.
Damn. I knew he's pulling that turn out too. Or there might be people still at
See,
People building
northeast.
up right now.
northeast.
Yep. You see that guy landing? He just landed.
Oh,
Build
okay,
over there.
landed. I thought you meant someone was climbing up on them.
There's a person by the ruined house.
Oh,
down
there's
below,
somebody
too.
right beside me. What
I
the
just hit
fuck?
the kid below.
Oh my god, yo, there's a whole team right here.
Coming. Where you at? Oh, down below us, guy.
None of those hit.
Oh, I
by
almost
the way.
slowed him.
Come back up. Anybody have heals whatsoever? Oh my fucking god,
Minis,
dude.
I'll drop them.
I got a
Cody.
campfire.
Dude, I just went down there and there was a whole team hiding at the bottom of that fucking build.
Storm.
I thought I seen bandages. Fuck me.
I got campfires for you.
Oh,
Where are you?
Hold on, Peanut.
yeah. Good shit, dude. Thank you. I have a launch pad too for after.
Same.
Alright, good. I'm using double.
Ah. Oh, close. Oh my goodness.
Zone's on us.
On it?
Wow, nice nades. Pro nades.
Fuck!
Do it.
Right behind you guys, coming up.
Knocked one.
One on me.
Oh, what the fuck?
Fuck you, I got it.
Just balanced north. Wow. 1v1.
What?
1v1.
Dude, fuck this fucking build.
The 90 stole.
That's how we win. Let's go! Woo! GG boys. Thanks for the free wins, suckers.
You're welcome. You needed it with your fucking status.
Yeah, you too. You.
Good luck learning Fortnite.
Oh man.
Laughing at his own jokes. That's
Wait,
sad.
why can't I still hear him?
Because it's Fortnite. You can hear people. in the game.
What? Toxic, bro. Free win. Gotta love it. Coconut? Oh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hello, does anybody have a
Hey.
mic?
How's it going?
Oh, it's going good. I just won last game, but I was with the most toxic players, man. It's ridiculous.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a win.
Oh no, it was not a win. That was dreadful. That was bad. I haven't heard the N-bomb, the S-bomb, the F-bomb so many times. It was ridiculous.
Jeez.
Yeah, what can you do? Wait, where are we going? Rita?
Yeah, it's just a little out the way. It'll have everything.
There you go.
It really doesn't matter to me, but no one's really picking anything else.
True that. Hey, I like it there. It's a neat tilted towers.
Yeah, it is. Looks like Brain's gonna do his own thing.
Godspeed.
3-man
Brian.
squad. Yeah, people are going houses.
Oh yeah. Where am I going?
Marked one house.
I guess I'm going here. Let's give me a gun. Oh, not balloons. Anything but oh, Fortnite. How could you do this to me? Okay, I'm running now.
Alright, I got a guy on me. Let's see if I get him.
Oh my goodness.
It's cool, I'll get you.
Alright. I'm gonna go to the restroom. We'll be right back. Got time?
Coming over to you.
Oh my god, that's so close.
Oh, still have a chance.
I got one down. Wait, dude.
Alright.
Just have people coming in. Sick.
You guys did work.
Crazy, he didn't follow my rift.
Oh, it's Marshall Ace.
Crap.
Nice. Ah, so close. Well, GG boys. I don't think he's gonna come get us.
Try y'all.
Oh my goodness. And am I sleepy? Hello, does anybody have a mic?
I do indeed have a mic.
Hello, TTV, by the way.
Hello.
Fellow TTV.
Yes.
Are you streaming?
No, I'm warming up so I can't stream.
Ah, not me. I put the good with the bad and the ugly.
Yeah.
And it's mostly ugly.
Looks like we're going Frosty Fights.
Guess so. Unless you want to change it up. Ah, too late. We're here.
Yeah, I hardly ever go Frosty, so.
Yeah. New to me, new to you.
Wait, so I have to do you and me?
Wait, what?
You said you do me and
Oh,
you
so-
do you.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah,
I do
you can.
me and
You can say that. You do you, boo.
Okay.
I said new to me, new to you.
Oh, I thought you said you do me, not do.
Oh no 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 no. It's a family-friendly stream. I don't do that.
Oh, it's got...
People are here. Be careful. You sound thirsty. Oh god, and they're heavy.
Oh, you can throw that when they're drops.
Of course none of those hit. Okay. Freaking stream snipers. Oh my god, I have no mats, I have no mats. I have no mats, I have no mats. Get out the door, yeah. $95 to the head, you kidding me, boys? That hurts. That is horrible. Subscribe. Oh, so close.
Alright, well.
You got this. I believe in you. The TTV has to always believe. There you go, smart place. Oh no, it's all up to you. Oh.
I had no mats, I tried to build.
Yeah, same here. GG's, man. You follow me, I'll follow you.
Alright.
Alpha lane. Nice. Hello. We're landing, boys.
Let's land Dusty.
Let's do it. Wait, that's not
Why's
Dusty.
I'm lagging so much.
Okay, we're going tilted apparently, according to YouTube. It's alright, we can hang. We got this.
Oh, what's it? I'm lagging so much. What is this?
YouTube, subscribe to me, YouTube. Make me feel better. Nice. Job to follow. My man. A good guy. Those hurt. Pick up that shotgun. Did he pick up that shotgun?
I can't move. I can't move.
Thank you for the follow, Yo Scrubs TV. Wow, after all that, he runs away. Why'd you do that? You blow up my building.
Where is he? Oh my god, I'm lagging so bad. Oh. Oh. can't move. Oh my god.
You got this. Hang in there.
Hello?
You got this. You're right.
I'm like really lagging. Don't kill him. If you kill him, I'll kill you.
Good attitude.
I can't move. I can't move.
I really feel bad for you, man. I really do.
Oh my god, you know what? Come up here. Oh, bro.
Oh, no way.
I can't move. Oh my god.
Before your internet goes out, go follow me on Twitch.
Yeah, I will. Bro, I can't. My internet's like 1 bar right now.
Stay paused.
I'm at 5 ping.
Oh wow. 5 ping? That's good. What you talking about, bro?
I mean, not 5 ping, like 5 frames.
Oh, 5 frames. But you know, I was playing with some people and they had the same problem.
Yeah, this game is like.
I think it's the game.
Oh no, it's not. Yeah, because I don't even know anymore.
He didn't even want to play. Like, that's how bad it was. He was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna play. No.
Oh my, this is ultimate shootout.
Hello! He hits those. I just gave up. GG's.
I have to restart my game.
Sucks. Ooh, Mark might win one. Does anybody in my fellow squad have a mic?
Nah.
Órale.
Órale. Hola, hola.
Órale. Hola, ¿cómo está?
¿Cómo tú estás?
No, don't do that.
Let me go.
Hey, yo,
Peanut butter jelly and a baseball bat. What's up?
Let's play Top 2.
Oh, get it, boy. Get it, boy.
Or challenge, you know?
I have the same one. I really like the sidestep.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. I love it. I love it.
I do that at all the quinceañeras I go to.
Alright, if we can land here on racetrack, we're gonna win the game. Everybody on racetrack.
We got this.
Start up.
Guys, my name is pronounced piece of shit.
Dr.
My name is pronounced Pasta Hanukkah.
Ah, I thought it was Pasta Hanukkah.
He just needs to play a game.
Yeah, it's Pasta Hanukkah.
Yeah, I like that one.
Alright, this is our joint right here.
Notice that it's Hanukkah, not Jewish.
This is a good place to land. Never landed here before.
What?
Yeah, there's a lot of metal here, man. All these racetrack, like metal.
Oh. I usually land in
racetrack is rubber.
Super populated areas. Cause I'm a tryhard. I'm a TTV.
Yeah,
I got 7 kills the last game. Does that mean I'm a tryhard?
Yes. If we don't drop 30 this game, I won't live up to my reputation.
Whoa. Dude, there is hunting rifles everywhere, man.
I'll take one.
I mean, I wish we could get in the Fortnite World Cup, but it's not happening anytime soon.
Nah, I don't like to sweat that hard. There's too much sweating.
I'm almost in Champion League, but it's too late now.
Hunting rifles everywhere, but I can't find a stupid shotgun.
Stupid shotgun. Stupid shotgun.
We'll find one, I believe.
I believe that.
Alright, I'm dropping that.
believe that Columbus did not discover America, the Vikings did.
Oh.
Columbus told millions of people to just claim land for Spain.
Ah, we're getting a history lesson.
Man.
Only on Fortnite.
Only on Fortnite.
He's
I
a
heard it
bad
was
man.
Stannis Baratheon. Stannis Baratheon.
Guys, million has 10 zeros, billion has 20 zeros, trillion has 30 zeros, quadrillion has 40 zeros, million.
Yeah, don't hurt your brain, bro.
Funny.
Alright, so the treasure map is on top of that.
Guys,
The what? The what?
Has 50 zeros. 1500.
How many zeros does Google have?
One.
One?
One?
Yeah.
No. Google has. I think it's.
One zero.
No, I think it's a zero with like the power of 100 or something.
Oh my god.
My mind's blown. Is that a trick question?
What?
Was that a trick question? Are you trying to fool me?
No, I'm serious. Google is an actual number.
What? Ow. What way?
That's no, hold on. Google is legitimately a number. Like that's how they
Guys,
came
you
up
can
with
all
their...
agree that links without that ponytail looks like a
That's why they came up with their name, is because it represents like almost like basically an endless amount of searches.
Huh, that's crazy.
I have a golden scar here.
No, I didn't know. Honestly.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, Legendary Sakai.
I mean, I just use it. I don't abuse it.
I just need a chug gun. Anybody see a chug gun?
I see a chug. Just kidding.
Oh, you got him there. You got him there. Oh my god. You got him there.
I know. I heard him. I heard it in his voice. He was like, "What?"
Guys, if you're doing mini potions, you are gay.
Dude, I've already. Oh. I've already got. Hey, I've got an empty slot. Does anybody want this purple snipe?
Oh, I do. Oh.
Your mom wants the purple sniper.
I've already got a purple sniper.
Who's it at?
Okay, mom.
Right here on me. Whoever can get it first, I'm dropping it right now.
I see two people right here.
Oh.
Two people right there. Dude, is that a gay potion? Dude, is that a gay potion?
Chug gun. Anybody has a chug gun?
How'd you get that? How do you get that skin? How do you get that skin? How do you get that skin?
This skin.
Did you steal your mom's credit card?
My mom's dead, but I still have a credit card. So yeah.
My grandfather's dead. What are you talking about?
I just got a guy.
He's dead, bro.
What you spacking about?
Another treasure map.
Guys, my mom left me.
Oh, there's minis down there. I want them minis.
I want them there minis.
Them minis.
Minis are gays.
Shields are for gays. And they're
Shields are gay potions, guys. Make you gay.
Oh, I see somebody. He's right there. He's right there. I see him right there.
Oh yeah, I see him.
Oh, he went up in that there sky.
That sky.
He went up there in the blue
Ooh,
old.
he just jumped it.
Guys, I need chug gun in that area where you guys at.
Trees.
Ah, dude.
Guys, okay, money doesn't grow in trees, but it actually does. Since money's made out of paper and.
Actually,
paper.
money is not made of paper, so.
People there?
Money is made of cotton, bro.
Guys, I hit 148.
My mom. That was just mine, so.
Game.
Talking about.
Yeah, well. Stupid, bro. You don't even know what you're talking about, bro.
Up.
Hey, you know what?
Guys, we're a team. Hang in there.
Where?
We'll fight about paper later.
Where's the enemy? Yeah, okay. Where's the enemy at?
Over there.
Oh, there they are.
I got people on me.
Mom. Girl, do it. Here, I'm gonna help you.
Alright, I'm gonna snipe him. Ready? Boom! Oh, nope, that didn't work.
Now I'm gonna help you. Or oh my gosh. Nice.
Ah!
That one.
Motherfucker, man.
I have no shotgun. Wow. Nice to have a shotgun, right? Popping minis real quick. Uh-oh. Not a good play, my friend.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Look at that pretty little shotgun right there.
Dude, that was a nice trap.
That was beautiful. Yeah, minis if you need them.
What is going
Yeah, I
on?
need minis.
Yeah, pick up the cards now.
Oh crap. Oh, I was trying to.
Ooh, 115 to the head. Gotta love it.
Gosh dang it.
GG boys.
Bye bye.
Time to call it a night. Anyway, what are you watching?